is a game where I think pretty much everyone's saying not only should you beat the Giants, but it shouldn't be a close one. You just hear that kind of chatter. How do you guys go about still trying to focus while still knowing what the expectations are?
Yeah, I mean, I think our expectations don't change week to week. I think that's more of a outside looking in view on the game. Their record versus our record, you're just assuming something. But those guys play in the NFL too, and they got a lot of talent over there. And I mean, we lost to the Raiders, who are 2-10 right now. So you can't really go into a game thinking that you got to go play every single game. So I think we have that mindset, and we're locked in on the Giants.
Do you think that because you had disappointing games against kind of like the Raiders and the Browns, do you think that helps you in games like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps us just not let our guard down. You got to win every game in this league. Doesn't matter the situation, what week it is, who's on the other side, who's not on the other side. If they got 11 guys out there and there's a football, then you got to win the game. So I think we're kind of in the business just taking a week at a time right now and doing what we need to do.
Hey, Kyle, do you feel like the defense has turned a corner a little bit? You put together some back-to-back games of playing pretty well. Do you feel like after some early season struggles, the defense has turned a corner?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a corner in terms of not letting up as many points. That's a good corner to turn, but I feel like we still got a long way to go. Just playing together as a whole, I think we've gotten better, but I think we can get a lot better in certain areas, and I think we're trending up, which is a good thing going into the playoffs. So, I was just talking to DBs. It's about who gets hot at the right time, and I feel like in all professional sports, especially in football, it's a grueling season, but if you have confidence going into the playoffs, going into that stretch, then I feel like anything can happen. So, yes, to answer your question, I feel like we have turned the corner, but I still feel like there's a lot we can do.
What do you feel like the next step would be as far as what else you can do as a defense to continue that?
Yeah, I feel like, for a few weeks in the season, we were kind of just trying to play defense and not give up big plays and stuff like that because it was attached to our names, attached to our defense as a whole, and everybody involved. And, I feel like we kind of had a tendency to just try to soften up a little bit just to keep everything in front of us. But I feel like now that we have that pretty well put together, I feel like we can get a little more aggressive now. So, that's all 11, especially me included, coaches, everybody. Just be that much more aggressive and just go out and attack people.
I was going through some of those struggles early and the middle of the season on defense changed sort of your ownership of the leadership role in this defense. I mean, do you feel sort of a different level of accountability at this point than maybe you did even last year?
Yeah, I feel like yes, and this just comes with being in the league more and getting more plays, more reps, and accolades. People start looking to you for advice or just kind of energy, and I feel like that's something I can get better at. And in terms of responsibility, I think everybody takes responsibility for our ups and our downs. But I feel like me personally, I feel like I do feel like I do take a lot of that, and because we're the back end of the defense, we're supposed to keep everything in front of us, and if all else fails, just tackle the ball, get it down, play another snap. And I feel like we do a good job of that. Then we feel good as a whole. And me myself, I kind of critique myself harder than anybody. I feel like compared to me, I have the highest standard for myself, and if I don't play a perfect game, which I never have, then I always feel like there's something that I'm looking for. So as much as you guys or my mom or coaches, whoever can get on me, I know I can be 10 times better than that. So I feel like indirectly, I'm taking responsibility just internally and externally.
You talk about, you still can get better, but what's maybe a change that you've already made this season to your leadership that you kind of feel like, hey, if I do this differently, like the defense will improve?
Yeah, just talking. It goes so it's so undervalued in just sports in general, just talking to each other, being comfortable with one another. Because the more comfortable you are in the locker room, the more comfortable you'll be out here on the practice field, and the more comfortable you'll be on Sundays. So I feel like just talking to everybody, I've done a good job of that. I had the dot for a game. I feel like that even helped it progress a little more. And just appreciative of everybody in the room trusting me with that opportunity, and coaches, Coach Harbaugh, players, everybody involved. And I feel like that gave me a little more confidence to go out here and be more vocal.
Kind of that you've been in before, maybe at Notre Dame or even in high school?
Calling plays?
Just like being like a leader and kind of taking ownership and really speaking out.
I feel like it's kind of been the same thing for every level of football that I've been at. High school, came in, was a little scrawny sophomore, and I didn't even play varsity freshman year. So But yeah, I came in sophomore year, I was good, but I was still 15, and then get the next year a little better at football, a little more confident, a little more vocal, and then senior year I felt like everybody was kind of looking at me for leadership, stuff like that. Same thing with college. I came in, even though I was highly recruited, nobody really cares about that at the end of the day, and I had to earn my stripes there too. And there's going to be ups and downs, but you go further and further, and you have a good freshman year and sophomore year, all of a sudden people are looking to you for that same kind of thing. And I feel like it's kind of happened that way in the NFL too. Came in rookie year, felt like I had an okay year, decent year, gained a little respect, but going into sophomore year, I felt like there were expectations, and then once you meet those, then there's no junior, senior year now, it's the rest of my career. So hopefully it's sustained for a long time, and just appreciative to be where I'm at.
Kyle, what's your reaction when you look at in the offseason, you get in May, you get the schedule, and you look in December and you see 3 games in whatever, 10 or 11 days? What's kind of your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of put myself in a basketball perspective. Those guys play back-to-back, so I mean, I guess there's a little merit behind us, quote-unquote, complaining about it, but they're playing 82 games. MLB players are playing 162 games, and we got 17, and we're trying to fight them to go to 18 right now. So I think it's good in the sense that we'll see who is most prepared down the stretch, and it's really challenging for teams. Everybody that's involved, I know there's a few more teams that are doing the same thing as us, and I think it all comes down to culture and kind of putting everything in boxes, putting the Giants in one box, and winning that game, and then moving on, and whatever it may be, we could play the next day. We don't really care. It's just we're going to show up and do well.
So does it seem like it's more, you think most people would think it's more of a physical challenge. You think it's just as much of a mental challenge as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. If not more. I mean, just like we're so accustomed to the week, just Sunday to Sunday, come in, we have a schedule, and when that's thrown off a little bit, like even if you have a Monday night game, it just feels a little different. And obviously on a Thursday night game, and then you put both of those together on a short week, then you kind of got to get yourself back in your routine and mentally just reset and refocus and just take time for yourself, honestly, because I feel like that'll be a big thing in the upcoming weeks. Just a lot of football going on, a lot of games, and your body may be going through something, and you're mental, and you're getting to the end of the season, and we still got a long way to go after that. So I feel like how well you deal with that is how well you're going to do with the rest of the year.
We have seen you banged up quite a bit throughout the year. The timing of the bye, how do you feel right now compared to where you were before it?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has the same answer as me, just better. We reported to camp earlier than everybody else for that Thursday night game, and I think KC had their bye a little while ago, and we were the last team that was, I guess we had the longest stretch continuous of anybody else, and now it's just going to be that much better at the end of it all when we do what we need to do, and we can look back on that and say, we did that, and we came out and won these 3 games. So I think we'll be better for it. I feel like it was good timing for us, and we come out re-energized and just juiced up.
Well, obviously, has had their points, but Mark Andrews beat against him in practice and beat against the officer training. Is he even above and beyond that? Just as competitive from this level, and his intensity during practice and just throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the pinnacle of that, I would say. There's a few guys on the team, Mark being one of them for sure, that he comes in, takes care of his business, and from the moment he steps in the building to the moment he leaves, there's a purpose in everything that he does. And I think as a younger guy, just coming in, especially now, I mean, still feel like I'm young, just like taking little tidbits, whether he may notice it or not. Just talking to him today, just talking about body work and like the little bumps and bruises that I've had, and he's just giving me some advice with that. And I sit next to him in the team meeting, and he's just super intentional about everything he does. And I don't know, it's like year 7, 8 for him, 7, 8. But yeah, you can tell that it didn't just happen overnight. So he's built like that, and I feel like he kind of rubs off on everybody.
2 more. Going back a few, the post-game evaluations from Mom, is she tough?
Mom is tough. Mom is very tough. Not a lot of attaboys, but just in life. But she, it's all from a good place. Me, my brother, and I feel like benefited from it for sure. Just having thick skin, and I feel like that's why I'm so critical of myself, because I don't want to let her down, and I don't want to let everybody who's got me to this point down, and I feel like whatever I do out here that y'all see is a representation of them. So I try to make them proud, and yeah.
You know, after the last game, Lamar also talked about some coaching points given to him by his mom. You know, you rise through the ranks, you work with some of the best coaches in the world. Why do you think, you know, hearing from parents, or maybe even hearing specifically from your mom, holds such weight for you when you hear what she has to say?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we have respect for these coaches, obviously, but there's a different level of respect when it comes with your mom, dad too, grandparents, whatever. But like something's different there with your mom, and you know, you grow up and you see everything that she's done for you to get you where you're at now, and I'm gonna listen to her more than anybody else. Although I won't listen to her more than anybody else too. You know, that's just how much we butt heads on stuff. But she's always got something to say, and most of the time it's constructive. May not be nice, but you know, it's better for me in the long run. And you know, I feel like she's always the one person I can go back to shoot to me straight. No matter what I'm doing and where I'm at, she can tell me, you know, you're doing well. She'll tell me then you're doing terrible. So I feel like everybody needs that, and she keeps me humble.
Thank you, Kyle.
Appreciate y'all.